sees the memes of production, and the like and subscribe button. Are you picking up what I'm putting down when I say that Democrat media needs to be like this? Like, they literally need to find, like, a random chick with an Insta thread, or Insta story, and the Insta story's like, man, had a MAGA coworker who was super rude to me. Found out his mom had cancer today. Ha! And then make that into a big story about, like, eulogizing the heroism of the woman and laughing at the guy or something. You know, like this, but less stupid. No, like this, but exactly as stupid. We need more of this. After traveling from Mexico City back home to Austin, Austin, Cangelosi, 28, hopped on a connecting United Airlines flight in Houston around 6:28 p.m. While on board, he was confronted by a woman who insisted she take his window seat because it made her more comfortable. I was boarding a plane and it had an F window seat. I mentioned to the woman who was in my seat, hey, I'm seat F, and she says, I'm more comfortable here. I said nothing else and sat in the middle, he wrote. After letting her snag his assigned seat, Cangelosi was soon approached by the woman asking him to swap back after she noticed her seatback TV was not working. A few minutes later, she discovered her... I like how they're describing what the Insta story said, but then just providing the quotes of the Insta story. Well, everyone else's did. She asked to switch back, and I said, no, I'm comfortable here, he said. Now I'm watching Bob's Burgers, and she just has to look out the nighttime window. Woman owned. And he's a realtor based in Austin, so I'm sure he's a great guy. This is the top story, by the way. Why are we reading this? Because you have to meet the voters where they are. This is the top story. Why are they reporting a non-event? Because they understand that it's their job to participate in an infinite ongoing culture war in favor of evil. Like, they know they're evil, and they are maximizing that. They're evil maxing, okay? Basically, they're evil maxing, and you're not good moding, okay? That's what I'm saying. 316 comments. Oh, please. If you sit in a seat I paid extra to get, do you pay extra for a window seat? You will either move or have a 220-pound, 6'4" man sitting on top of you. Well, the comments aren't super vitriolic against women, so that's kind of nice. All these are just from the past hour or two. Why are we reading tabloid slop like this? Rinny Wu, your ass is... You're taking an express United Airlines ticket trip to the goddamn garbage bin if you don't listen to the shit that's coming out of my mouth when I talk. You have to meet the voters where they're at. I've explained like 20 times why we're looking at this. This right here, this is what people want. Andy Kim did a speech from a Senate Intel Committee where he explained that he thinks there's a possibility that the United States is experiencing a constitutional crisis. This is what people want. F you. Finger on the pulse. Okay? All left-leaning media needs to engage in this shit. It's not like there's not plenty of material to work with. No, we need to focus on the class war. You could do this shit with the class war. You know that, right? A-list Hollywood actress looks unrecognizable with shaggy, bleached, blonde hair in LA. Is this the Sydney Sweeney without makeup photos? Can you guess who this star is? It's Kristen Stewart. That's nice. Just post 200,000 stories of landlords being Hitlerites. Dude, unironically, can you imagine? Like tabloid news slop, but rather than it being celebrities and like, look, a woman was bad. Instead, it's like, you won't believe the audacious behavior of this slumlord who like lied and evicted this single mother on, you know, Christmas Eve or something. Come on, bring it back, bring it back. Fine, I'll look up the Subway diet myself. Famously, somebody already did the Subway only diet, and it didn't go well for Subway or some children. I don't really care. And look at this slop. Potential autism breakthrough as 3-year-old boy's symptoms are reversed using cheap drug. Guys, we're curing autism. Well, but that has nothing to do with the food, Vaush, to be fair. Disagree. I think that eating nothing but Subway makes you... There were no control studies done. For all we know, that is what happened with Jared. Disgusting. Wipe your mouth, kid. Oh my god. Reading this shit makes me feel so smart. Yeah, a little bit. You're falling for the tabloids? I just don't think you guys understand the work that would need to be done to truly, genuinely win back the hearts and minds of the American people. That's what I think. I think that you guys are still, like, you've listened to me say you have to meet people where they're at, but you guys don't understand the dregs you would have to dig through in order to reach the aforementioned rural Pennsylvanian voter. You know? Reverse brain rot is what we gotta do. I mean, look, okay, it's just like well-intended brain rot. Trump's border crackdown, another shocking new method illegal migrants are using to sneak into America. They're taking trains? They're taking trains? Oh, fake uniforms. I see. Trending story on New York Post. Yes! A salad cost Dodgers pitcher Dustin May his season and almost his life. We gotta eat more meat. Yes! That's what I'm talking about. What do we got? Adam's Fate, Hochul. Yeah. Okay, but what about the human interest stories? Okay? Yes! Right here, right at the top of the front page. Plane passenger who won't move bare feet from fellow flyer's personal space gets instant karma. It's the exact same kind of story. It's like identical. And wow, the perpetrator was a woman and the victim was a man. Content creator Cam Casey was sitting on a flight when the person behind him stretched out their legs to reveal their flip-flop adorned feet beneath his seat, much to his disgust. Bro, this is nasty, he wrote on the viral video, in which he looked repulsed. Yeah, let's watch it. Typical Foyd. I mean, at least they're like well-kempt feet, right? 815,000 likes. This is what the people want. Obviously not a foot fetishist. It's probably meant to appeal to foot fetishists. What an asshole. Well, I've got good news for you, okay? It's fake. It's all fake. It's always fake. Do you have any idea how far forward you'd have to stretch your feet to get them that far underneath the seat? You not only would you need no bag stored underneath the seat in front of you, you would need to like lean back and like full leg stretch, like slip your butt off the seat of the seat behind you. You know? To dole out some instant karma, he unclapped his bottle of water and poured it on the person's feet. They recoiled immediately. I'm woker than you guys, so you might not be able to get this, but you all should know this is just misogyny. These stories basically never go viral in the other direction. At least not with these audiences. It's always about, like, the entitled woman who's had it too easy, who's inconsiderate of her space, who feminism has gone too far with, getting some minor comeuppance. You know, not being able to watch stuff on the screen, you know. Warm water or coffee would have been better, commented on user on Facebook, where Casey also posted the clip. I would have fake sneezed on them toes with just a sprinkle of water, advised another. That would have been way more impactful. Nah, water's too nice. Should have been coffee or maybe chocolate milk. I think you should have shot down wildly with a gun that you snuck onto the plane. Should have been hot coffee. I would have taken a sip and spat it. This is kink content, I think. I would have accidentally dropped a heavy water bottle and said, oops. I would have lit a match and dropped it. Just last year, one woman shamed the person seated behind her for stretching... Oh, well, there goes my sexism thesis. Denied. In the other way, one woman shamed the person seated behind her for stretching his shoeless feet under her seat. I'd have pulled her toenails off. Yeah. Implemented the, like, snap-on saw trap that I had designed it for exactly this moment. We can all agree it's objectively worse if a guy does it right. Dude's feet be nasty. Yeah. I mean, obviously, it's like a case-by-case basis, but the average woman's foot is probably a lot less gross than the average man's foot. Remember how manspreading was a thing? I mean, I remember literally one, what was it, Salon article? One Guardian article? What was it? One something article on it that everyone got mad about for years afterwards? BuzzFeed. That was it. It was BuzzFeed. You can just make news about anything, man. I mean, you guys watch my channel. How embarrassing. Hey, I know this guy. I think the main thing to learn from stuff like this is that people genuinely don't care that much about reading purely political news. People mostly want human interest stories or stuff for them to, like, talk about their boring relatives with over the dinner table. So the reason why the New York Post and the Daily Mail get so much attention is largely because, well, in the New York Post's case, it's because the New York Times has completely given up on being a New York specific newspaper. So New York Post kind of filled that void. But also, they pepper a bunch of human interest stuff in, and you, like, get the politics on the sideline, you know? It's because it's free. Yep, that also helps. They haven't released the full Elon Musk Trump interview, right? They're releasing it later tonight. This is the clip. This is the clip they've showed. Air in full Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Yeah, so we'll have to cover it tomorrow. Does everyone get what I'm getting at? Whatever. Explaining how entertainment works. Well, I do feel like people often forget how about leftists do this, but we sneakily add in propaganda. No. You're not sneakily adding in propaganda. You just meet people's interest, okay? You just throw shit out there. You don't have to be that damn thoughtful about it. You know? You don't need to be that sneaky. You don't need to be that considerate. You just meet people where they're at. I think one of the biggest divides in messaging between the right and the left is that the left thinks too much before they talk. When the left wants to make a message, they, like, carefully cultivate it. You know what I mean? They're like, okay, well, what point am I trying to make? How am I delivering this? Like, let me kind of narrow the scope of my point. The right will just say, like, the right will, if they want to make a right-wing point or whatever, they'll just, like, couch it in whatever point they have at the moment. It's like an undisciplined, organic vomiting of one's opinion as opposed to, like, a carefully controlled delivery, you know? I mean, do you want to look at the difference between the New York Post and like Jacobin or whatever? I'll do a rewrite for you, okay? Can federal workers stop Trump? I got a better one, okay? You won't believe what this 52-year-old former factory worker had to say after he was suddenly let go from his job. Or not factory worker, federal worker? I don't know. Something like that. The right wing spends much more money on focus grouping. That's true, yeah. The DNC tends to rely on the same old consultants, whereas the right will like test messages out with a broader base of people. When you do an uncareful spew of opinion, there's always a snarky anarchist to tell you can't read. Well, yeah, but who gives a f about them? They're nobody and they have no power. Who cares? Why not start a newsletter? What are you, a Trotskyite? Jesus. It's embarrassing just reading that. You considered pamphleteering? Does anyone actually read newspapers? No. Ken Martin put out a memo to Democrats about something. I'm bored already. What is this? Who gave me this? BGL? What is this? Ken Martin sent a memo to all elected Democrats saying unions must be the backbone of our fight. Vaush, pretty base, worth a read. Where are the pictures? Yeah, single space? Lamau? What the f do you mean Lamau? You think I'm joking? Bottom line, in his first term, Donald Trump relentlessly pursued policies that harmed working families, but his first month back in office proves he was just getting started. Trump and his billionaire backers are hell-bent on attacking working families and dismantling the unions to protect workers in order to enrich themselves. As Democrats, it is our responsibility to stand up for the working people, unite behind the kitchen table issues that connect us all. As I take over chair of the DNC, union workers and labor leaders will be the core to my decision-making. As Trump wages his war on working families, Democrats will fiercely answer the call to my favorite old union song. Which side are you on? I'll tell you what, Democrats are on the side of the worker. We will show Americans every day that workers do, in fact, have more power than any billionaire. That's nice. I like that. The messaging divide, however, that's the important one. The messaging divide's the important one. Like, here, you have the point, right? But how do you do it? That's the difficult part. Can we listen to that song real quick? No. Listen to that and the Soviet Union anthem bass boosted on your own time. Who's this addressed to? Subs and Soda, you have to listen to the stream to hear the words that are coming out of my mouth. This was messaged to elected Democratic officials, not the random people. The Dems. I mean, it's a start. I have ADHD, you ableist. Yeah, I do too, but I manage. I fundamentally believe our party is grounded in the values, principles, and aspirations of the working class. My take is that, like Biden, he will be the best of my lifetime and still not be able to meet the moment. Yeah, because like being pro-working class is one thing, but it's about like the messaging strategy. It's about how you approach people. It's about how you get that out there. And again, like none of this means anything unless it's bound to get, you need a binding agent, like with making cake batter, okay? And the binding agent here needs to be hatred and mockery and scorn, okay? Enough of the kitchen table politics bullshit, enough of the, hey, we've got the better policy bullshit. No one gives a f about policy, okay? What people want is narratives, main characters, big bombastic moments, okay? We want big dramatic speeches. We want, you know, ships capsizing, planes falling from the sky, tumultuous weather events. We want happening. We want stories. Every day there needs to be a new miracle, a new disaster. We want hype and we want aura moments, essentially. I want every Democratic politician aura farming nonstop, okay? I want every single one of them posing in the you had to give it to them, you know, hands clasped across the crotch pose every time there's a camera on them, all the time. And they need to dress better. Start smoking cigars in public, you know? Do your best Al Capone cosplay. I don't give a shit. Aura farm. Yep, it's DEI or DIE. Anytime I say, people look at me and go, but the polling said the Dems wanted to go more moderate. Shoot me, Vaush, shoot me. Yeah, and imagine if Republicans listened to polling data. We might not be on the brink of total nationwide collapse right now. Sorry, Mr. Trump, it's 2021 and we've done some polling and it turns out that the Republicans and Americans broadly don't actually want anything you're proposing. And then they went and did it anyway. And then they won. I don't actually think people would like an unelected half a trillionaire cutting up the government with unilateral authority and no oversight, cutting Social Security and Medicaid. Who cares? They did it anyway. Or a farm. Don't poll the people on what they want. The people are stupid. Don't ask them whether or not they want more moderate Dems. If they wanted more moderate Dems, then why the f does the average Democrat, why does the average American vote for referendum policies to the left of what the Democrat politicians offer? Why is it that Medicare for all is more popular than the Democrats who push it, or pushed it, depending on, you know, how opportunist they wanted to be at that given point in time? The voters are stupid, so treat them like they're stupid. Don't pretend that they're not. Don't expect them to follow the news. Don't expect them to be familiar with the ins and outs of policies. Hype farm. Aura. We want aura. I want personality cults. I want people wearing DNC merchandise as a daily wear. They have their MAGA hat. Okay. Have Butch Dykes walking around downtown Chicago with official branded DNC carabiners or whatever. Okay? Aura. Woke socks. Precisely. Yeah, I remember the polls when everyone wanted us to pull out of Afghanistan, and then Biden did, and his approval ratings collapsed and never recovered. Yeah, I remember. Carabiners. Carabiners. Yeah. I wouldn't know. Sorry, I'm not a lesbian. Though I yearn like they do sometimes. I'm a different kind of guy. Bring your 2016 Feel the Burn t-shirts out. I want people treating their preferred politicians, you know, like with the personality cult, basically. Where's that one photo that I tweeted a while ago? Here it is. Like this. There's a Bernie Sanders staffer who's aura farming with a gorgeous, I'm gonna say, cavalry twill, navy blazer, white Oxford cloth button-down shirt, classic chinos, and a gigantic campaign sticker across the laptop. He's got the Bernie hat. We need everyone looking like this, but for whoever's running in 2028 all the time. Not just college campuses, okay? This shit needs to be everywhere. Bring wokeness back. Could fascism be used for good? What the fuck are you saying? Could Hitler be used for good if you pointed him at landlords instead of Jews? What are you talking about? Fascism? No? Sorry, Vaush, I can't do khakis. They're chinos, you dickless son of a bitch. I don't give a fuck how you feel about khakis. You've never worn real khakis. You've never worn real clothing in your life. China has swaddled you from cradle to grave. You will never touch real cotton twill. You will never experience the feeling of an 11-ounce cotton twill draping over your legs like a suit of armor. Shut up! What was I talking about? I actually, like, blacked out for a second. What was I on? Hype and aura? Hype and aura. Hype and aura moments. We need everyone dressed like this. Do you think I'm joking? Do you think I'm making a joke? Do I seem like I'm joshing to you? It's the era of populism. That means aura, that means personality cults, okay? Democrats need to be hogging the camera all the time they have, okay? Everything they can do. How can we possibly win if we don't, if the Democrats don't inspire so much faith in the population that people aren't walking around wearing their merchandise all the time? So we need to primary every single Democrat. Trump didn't need to primary all the neocons. A lot of them fell into line once it became clear that Trump was the top dog. I think that would happen with a lot of Democrats.